Welcome to week 2 of distance learning, but your first library YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed the story that I chose for today, and I hope you enjoy the activity that follows. The Bad Seed. It's written by Jory John and illustrations by Pete Oswald. All right, so the story is about a sunflower seed that everyone has decided, even himself, that he's bad. But what do you think it means to be bad? Also, what does it mean to be good? And look at him. What's a bad seed? And what is this bad seed doing with a crayon? Do you think people are born bad? Or they become bad? Huh. I wonder. Let's begin. The Bad Seed. Oh, look at all those seeds. Written by Jory John and illustrations by Pete Oswald. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Let's stop there for a second. So I'm noticing that the seed talks about himself pretty negatively, and other people are talking about him being bad too. How do you think it makes him feel? You're right. I would feel horrible if people were talking bad about me. I would feel sad. I would feel mad. I would probably cry, right? All right, let's continue. Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. Ugh. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. All right, so thinking about all of his behaviors, do you think that all these behaviors make him a bad seed? Like, if a person did it, would they be a bad person? But then looking at all the other seeds around him, how could the other seeds around him have acted differently when he misbehaved? Instead of just staring at them and staring at him and like making faces and talking behind his back, what do you think they could have done? Yeah, you're right. If they were really his friend, I hope you would say that you would talk to him, right? You would go up to him and tell him how he's making you feel, and hopefully that would make him change. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. Look at all their faces on the sunflower. But then the petals dropped, and our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. Everything went dark. And then, a giant! I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, ah! But I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a thud. Thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. All right, let's stop for a second. How do you think the seed felt when he fell to the ground? How do you think he felt when he was in the bag? How about when he was almost eaten? I know it's hard for us to imagine, right? Because we're not seeds, we're people. But if we were almost eaten, we'd probably be scared, right? If we're going towards somebody's mouth, right? Or maybe we would be worried. I definitely wouldn't be happy. I'd probably be mad if I fell down. And look what he fell into. Do you see what he fell into? Yeah, a wad of gum. He fell in gum. We're always mad when we step in gum on the sidewalk, right? Can't imagine falling into it. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me. Until recently. All right, so why do you think the bad seed turned bad for a while? You're right. He was probably upset about everything that happened to him, right? Wouldn't you be upset if you're ripped away from your family and you're flying through the air and you fall into gum? You'd probably get pretty angry. All right, so until recently, I've made a big decision. I decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying, taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen and I still show up late and I still talk during the movies and I do all other sorts of bad things. But I also say thank you. And I say please and I smile. And I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad sometimes, I also feel kind of good. Sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. Okay, so it almost seems like after all the scary stuff happened that he decided he was bad and he should act bad, right? He decided that's just how he was and that's how he was going to act. But why do you think he went back to being good? What motivates you to be good? Are you good because you want to get praise for it? Or are you just good because you know when you do good things, like when you help your mom and dad, puts a smile on their face and it makes life easier for them? I agree. All right, I hope you liked the bad seed. Stay tuned for the activity that will be coming to follow. Oh, there's a bad seed. He's not so bad anymore. So I hope you all loved the bad seed as much as I did. And here's your task for today. So the book was about a seed, a piece of food. I want you to go into the kitchen and find a piece of food, something that you might want to draw, bring it to life. I found a tomato, just an ordinary tomato, and I'm going to take this tomato and then draw a picture of it. So what I did is I drew my tomato looking like this. So he's kind of got a sinister look about him. Look at his eyebrows. He's got some rotten spots on him. He doesn't look like he's super ripe. He doesn't look like he's super fresh. I want you to draw a picture with your food. Give it some arms, give it some legs. You can make it look however you would like. And then I want you to tell me about it. For kindergarten, I want you to tell me his name. What would his name might be and maybe where he would live. First grade, I want you to write a couple sentences. Tell me what his name might be. Is he good? Is he bad? Where does he live? What does he do? Second grade, I want you to write me a couple paragraphs. I want you to write me a little story telling me about your piece of food. So this is my tomato, and I'm going to call him Rotten Harry. And I would take this. I'm going to take another piece of paper and write about my story for Rotten Harry, keeping in mind his bad spots on here. Maybe how did he get rotten? Why wasn't he eaten? Why wasn't he chosen? Maybe he's always the last one chosen at gym class. I want you to use your imagination to create a story about a piece of food. Just like in the seed, it was a bad seed. I took my tomato, I drew it. Now I'm going to write a story about it. Please, when you write your stories and when you draw your pictures, share them with me. Email me, message me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys come up with bringing your food to life. Don't forget to share your stories and pictures with me. I can't wait to see everything that you've created. I'll see you next week.